Well, howdy, howdy. This is Cubby Potamus, and it's a great day because I live here. And it is really good to live here in Germany. Had quite the interesting journey to get this place in my life, and I think in a lot of ways I owe it all to just an investment someone made in me, right? Now, I was talking to Eva today about a memory foam topper that I got her, and she's has a lot of back pain issues, I guess, that are really hard, and the topper helps enormously. I said, that $100 topper equates to thousands of dollars in medical expenses. And if you think about it in terms of what you would pay to not feel pain, that's the kind of return of investment, you know uh, we got on that, and I saw that, so I bought it for her and made that investment, and it paid off in a really big way in her own life, and mine too, because she's happier and feels better, and it just does my heart good to see her doing better, and we get along better. She's not hurting, right? But I mean, just think of that investment, right? Oh, 3-4 hours worth of work, and she feels better every single day, throughout the day. That's a huge thing. And today I want to talk to you about investing. Investing in people, even purchases, investing your money, and about seeing value, right? Okay. What's your time worth? What's your happiness worth, right? How much value do you get out of a $5 coffee? How much benefit does that give you? Or what are other things that you could spend that $5 on that you'd get more out of? And beyond that, how much is your neighbor worth to you? How much are your friends and your family, right? If you see value in them, you want to invest in them. I mean, I think most rich people are rich because they know where to invest stuff, right? Where to put money that'll give a big return on your investment, right? And, in helping people, right, you want big returns, right? How much value can you get for the least amount of your time and effort, right? What are the big things that you can do to change someone's life or to make it better? Make them hurt less, make them understand, you know. And I can tell you a little bit about my story, what investment really worked on me, right? I used to really, really hate people. And I was lonely, and I didn't understand why they treated me the way they did, why they ran away, I was angry that for not having a girlfriend, but also just not being loved and being able to just belong like everyone else that I saw around me. At least that's what it looked like, right? And it was hell. Some days I'd spend every waking second just full of rageful, angry fucking thoughts, right? And yeah, it was really hard, but the investment that changed me was I took Marnie the Wing Girl's F formula, flirting class, and that really changed everything. I learned how to people and to interact with people in a way that just felt good, that was productive, right? Learned how to make people like me and how to make them feel what I feel, right? I learned how to make friends just easily. I learned to understand, women, but just people in general, about what they see and what they value, what makes them feel good, and getting at the things that really make them feel good, not just the roundabout ways they go of getting it, be it possessions or substances or whatever, just that connection that we all want and just kind of that healing, you know. Uh, just learning how to talk to girls, from a wing girl, um, was the investment that changed everything, right? And I can't tell you how many wonderful conversations and hours I spent talking to the girls, how great that was. The friendships I've had since then, um, the risks I've taken, and I've grown and grown and grown. And I wouldn't have done the soft white underbelly thing, if it wasn't that for that, because I wouldn't have anything to talk about, right? And I wouldn't have met my Eva through the soft white underbelly thing because, yeah, if I didn't have that, I guess I invested in her, but I believe that she invested a lot more in me, or what little she did made a big difference, and it changed everything in my life, right? It's just kind of been this amazing adventure these last several years. And here I am because of it. Um, yeah. Yeah. And thinking of it in investing terms, right? That was the investment that paid off the best, right? Paid off huge. Absolutely enormous, right? That's like making, well, I guess I paid $45, like $1 million for $50 investment or something, every single day of my life since I've learned, just how to people and why they treated me that way, and even now, just getting to the point where I don't feel that much of a need to people because I'm just, I'm good. I can take it or leave it. Strangely enough, that learning how to people put me in a position where I just don't care that much, about being loved because I am. And, I've proven to myself that, people have, that, that I'm just worthy of love. And I guess other people have shown that to me, and told me much, all from reading like 50 pages or something of someone said, thinking about it, trying it, and it starts rolling, right? And that's the kind of investments in people that pay off the best, right? It's getting them to start down that trail, right? It was Marnie opening my eyes and setting me on a path that, it's just been like a movie or something. It's an adventure. My life is so fucking cool now, you know. Better than I could even imagine, you know. Just because, she pushed me out the door with a thought, right? And I did all the rest. It's not like she did it, but, right, she invested just a little bit off in me, and it paid off enormously in my life. And, it goes on her account too, as far as I'm concerned, right? Think of investing people that you get that return too, right? If I help people, that's my payoff too. If I make their life better, if I can tell them, people in the same position as I, to get them down the road I started on, that's wealth for me too. That's worth something to me, right? I'm getting something that is worth something to me. That is wealth, right? And if you value helping people, if you find that worth in that, then invest wisely. And without going too much into it, Eva believes in me, about things that I would be scared to try on my own, or I don't feel qualified for, and she's just encouraging me to make a career out of helping people, and ways and stuff to just get my knowledge out there. And I can't imagine a better thing than that. I've had so many people who really resonated with me, for my interview. So many people who work with autistic people tell me that they understand autistic people in a way that they never have after decades, before. And just my fellow autists telling me, that you just described it better than I've heard before, People telling me about their kids and autistic children, and and that's just really cool, is a lot of people tell me that they finally realized they were autistic from watching my video. That's worth something to me. And the investment I made in doing the soft white underbelly video, got me those returns. As more than a huge return in my own life. Just enormous. Got Eva and I got you. But a huge return in helping people, And I think for some people, doing the best investment you can, getting them out the door and starting to, on their own adventure, right? Where they're learning things and they're building on that and they're growing more confident, and getting just the shit they've always wanted but didn't understand how to get, if you understand some basic things about talking to people and how to make them feel better, that can make every day of your life better from here on out. Every single day can get better if, you know how to people and know how to make them feel things, right? So anyways, I guess with that said, I'm going to start life coaching, right? And you know, for people like me, people like I used to be. And I guess even, you know, maybe just talking to people if they want to book an appointment, you know, and it's not necessarily even something that you need to do for a long time like therapy, you know, because I'm just teaching you some stuff and just listening to you. But yeah, you know, if you learn just one thing that makes your day a little better, you know, that's going to accrue for the rest of your life, and that's what my investment in you would get for me, you know, and it would pay off in a big way for people I help, right? You know, and again, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for Eva. Wouldn't have met Eva without Soft White Underbelly. Wouldn't have done that, you know, if I didn't, you know, invest learning, meeting, you know, getting to know the girls, and that wouldn't have happened if I didn't learn how to flirt, right? You know, whether it be things like buying comfortable shoes that will save you big things, big back pain later, or a nice mattress that will save you from pain, or just investing in, you know, your own activities, right? I'm invested in walking right now, right? You know, and I love it. This is a lot better than looking at a fucking screen all the time, right? You know, I'm investing my time in this. I'm getting health back. I'm looking younger back. My brain works better back, you know. You know, so many times I just have a really great time doing this. And, you know, it's not like looking at a screen where time just disappears and I don't have anything to show for it, right? You know, walking is an investment in yourself, right? And learning to enjoy it, you know, is going to help you down the road. Learning how to eat healthy and how to train yourself to like new foods helps, you know, the rest of your life if you do it right. You know, investing ain't just for rich people. And being rich doesn't have to be having money, and having money doesn't necessarily mean you're rich. You know, it's what's valuable to you. So invest wisely, you know, and look for areas where you'll get big returns for small investments. This was Cubby Potamus. Maybe I'll see you around sometime.